Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Figma Shorts, a mini interaction series in Figma where we learn about interaction design and some basic interaction in Figma. And so today's video, we are going to learn more about anchor links or scroll to position interaction in Figma. So let me just quickly give you a brief background what anchor link or scroll to position is. So anchor links are basically hotspots on a page. When you click one of those hotspots, it takes you to another section of the same page. So the point to note here is that it takes you to or scrolls you to another section of the same page, not to a new page. And anchor links are quite popular in UI design. And the main purpose of this is to give more visibility to sections that are on a page. In case the page is too long, too big, you want your users to notice the main key points, you can add them as anchor points, and when they click on those anchor points, they will the page will scroll down automatically to that section, and then they could quickly scan it. So yeah, quite popular. Technical term is anchor links, and the interaction in Figma is available as scroll to position. So let's quickly deep dive into the different types of anchor links that you can set up in Figma. There are typically three, so I'm going to run you all those three really quickly. So guys, the first type of variant is called vertical scrolling, and in this one, when you click on a hotspot, it scrolls vertically to a part of the page or to a section of the page. So the key point here is that it scrolls vertically. Now let's quickly see how you can set it up. So what I've done is I have an artboard ready here, which is the Netflix culture page, and let me show you what it consists of. So I have a top nav that contains a status bar, Netflix logo, and three text called culture, team, and opening. When I click on each of these, it should take me to the respective sections below. If I click on culture, it should take me to culture, team to team, and openings to the job openings. Okay. Then I also have an image. The next thing that I have is a group that contains two text. One is the heading and then some dummy text below it. And I've grouped them together and named it as culture. So it's really important that you group them together and create a unique name because it just helps in prototyping. Similarly, the same thing here as well. Two text grouped together, three text, two text here again grouped together. And below I have a button back to top, which I want to click and go back again to the top section. So yeah, this is how it is. Now, first thing you need to do is go to the prototyping setting and select the entire artboard, and you need to enable vertical scrolling so that our prototype can scroll vertically. If you don't do this, you will not be able to add anchor points. Okay, so enable vertical scrolling. Now, if I come here, you see I am able to scroll. The only thing is my top nav is also moving away with the scroll, right? We don't want that. We want this to be sticky, top nav. So what I'll do is I'll come here, go to my design tab. I'll select the top nav on the left panel, and I'll go on the right panel. It'll say fix position when scrolling. So what will happen is it'll make it sticky. So it'll stick on top of everything, and Figma will not move it with the scroll. So let's see how it looks like. So if you see, my top nav is now sticking. Perfect. Now let's quickly prototype the anchor links. So first I'll select culture. I'll go in my prototyping tab, and I draw a line from there to the first section, which is the culture section. So if you see on tab, scroll to is the scrolling behavior, and it's taking me to the section called culture. So if you have created sections well enough, it'll all show up here. So you can just select it from here as well instead of dragging. So I want it to go to culture. Perfect. I'll come to these values later. You want it to animate, ease out, and since it's really close to the target, the touch point, the hotspot is close to the section itself, we want it to happen a little bit slower. So I will give it 500 millisecond. So the closer the section, you want to give it a little bit more time to finish. The farther the section below, you want it to happen a little bit faster, okay, because there's more distance to travel. Perfect. Now let's quickly see how it looks like. Okay, so if I click on culture, it's scrolling to the cultures page, culture section. If you see again, I click on culture, it's scrolling to that section. But what is happening is the first few lines is going behind the top nav. So we don't want that. So to fix that, we have an option here. So what happens is when you click on a hotspot and the section comes immediately close to with zero distance between the hotspot and the section. So this will scroll and go typically till here with zero distance between them. If you want to give them the distance between, if you want it not to go behind the nav bar, what you need to do is you need to give some offset here, y offset. And the way offsets work is this. So if the center is your hotspot and the section that you're moving, you want them to have a distance between them below, you need to give minus values. If you want the section to move up of the hotspot, you need to give positive values. Okay, so this is the hotspot, and distance below will be negative, distance above will be positive, and same for the x-axis as well. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll first see how big is my top nav is. So if you see, my top nav is somewhere around 102. So we want to give something which is more than 102 so that we get some good spacing here. So what I'll do is I'll come here, go my prototyping tab, select the interaction, and y I want to give it to y offset to 120. And as I said, it should be minus because we are giving space below. Perfect. Let's see how it looks like. See, so what's happening right now is, even though it's moving up, it's maintaining that 120 distance between the hotspot and the section. Perfect. Now let's do it same for the another section. So I'll drag for the team and I'll drag it below. And I'll select the team group. Now again, same thing. We don't want it to stick behind the nav, so we'll give minus 120, animate. And since it's farther away, we want to happen a little bit faster, so we'll give it 300 milliseconds. So farther the distance, less should be the time, so that the speed is the same, and closer the speed should be more. Okay, so let's see how it looks like here. I'll refresh it again. Culture, perfect. Team, perfect. So both the hotspots are running, so you can set up all the hotspots like this. Now once I have scrolled all the way down, I also want to move to top. So I want to use this back to top button to move to the top section of the page. So what I'll do is I'll click on back to top, and I'll also link it to the top nav. So I'll come here and I'll link it to top nav. So I'll just select here top nav. Okay, so now on tap, scroll to top nav, and 300 milliseconds is fine because it's farthest from the top nav. And yeah, that's it. Let's see how it looks like. I'll refresh. Team, perfect. If I click on back to top, it's going to the top. So perfect. So this is how you set very simply the top vertical scrolling. Now let's see the other variants as well. So the second variant is called horizontal scrolling. So in this one, as the name suggests, you scroll to a horizontal position. So it's not that commonly used. It's very rarely used actually, because for horizontal we also have scrolls and carousels. But yeah, let's see how it works. So in this one I have a page, I have an artboard, and what I've done is I have added a group or a frame actually, and that frame contains 4 images, this 1, 2, 3 and 4 images. Yeah, and there's a frame that is called scroll and contains all the images right now. And what we want is that when we click on this right arrow, we should go to the last image of the carousel or the scroll, and when we click on the left, we should be able to go to the first one at wherever position we are. Okay, so to first do that, what we need to do is we need to set an overflowing behavior like we did for the previous one, but in this case we want it to be horizontal. Now if you see, my frame is at the same size as the elements that is containing. So if I try to go and try to do horizontal scrolling, I'll get an error because there's nothing that can overflow. And I've explained this in my previous videos as well, so you can go check it out, difference between scroll and groups as well. So first what we need to do is we need to make the bounds of this scroll frame smaller so that we can have an overflow behavior. So what I'll do is I'll hit command on my keyboard and I'll select the frame here, which is called scroll. Hitting command, I can change the bounds of the frame. So if you see, I can change it to like this. So now the images are overflowing the scroll group. If you see clip content, I'll not be able to see anything that is out of the frame, out of the bounds now. Okay, so once that is done, if you go to prototyping tab, you will see there's no error now. You can freely horizontally scroll it. Okay, so let's see how it looks like. The scrolling looks like perfect. It looks well. Now what we want to do is we want to quickly link these to the respective screens. So this should take you to the last, the image 4 of the group. So I should go and click here. On tap, scroll to image 4, ease out 300 milliseconds, perfect. And the first one should take you to the first image. So scroll to image 1 on tap, animate, ease out 300 milliseconds, perfect. Let's see how it looks like. Refresh. Yeah. If I click, so I'm able to horizontally scroll, but if I click this button, I'm able to go to the last screen, perfect. If I click left, I'm able to go to the first screen. And if I'm anywhere in the middle as well, if I click this, I'll be able to do next screen, I mean the last screen. And if I'm here in the middle, if I click the first arrow, I'll go to the first screen. So perfect. That's how you build a horizontal scrolling. Pretty easy, right? Now let's see the third type and the final type. So guys, the third type of scrolling is called diagonal scrolling. It's not very typical and I have not seen it in many places, but it's technically possible. So I'm just showing you here. So till now you have seen that you can move it, we can scroll the anchors through vertical positions, through horizontal positions, but this one is in both X and Y. So it's like diagonally. You're also moving in X, you're also moving in Y. Okay. So let's see how we can do that. So to make this, I have this iPhone frame again. And in this, what I've done is I've added a group, and this group contains these small circles, and I've named all of these circles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and in the end there's one called last. I grouped them together and it's called group. Maybe I can call it circles. Okay. And this circle group is inside the artboard. If I hit clip content, you'll see it's in the artboard. The outer things are now gone. Okay. Now there's a button which I want to press to go to this, let's say this red last circle, and that's in the diagonal position. So what I want to do is I'll come here, I'll select the artboard, I'll go to my prototyping settings, and the artboard should be both horizontally and vertical scrolling, because we want the anchors to move in both direction, because this is diagonally placed, so it has an X and Y value both. So make sure horizontal and vertical scrolling both is enabled for an entire artboard. Now what we want to do is I want to select the diagonal arrow and I'll click on it and I'll move it to this circle. So on tap, scroll to, and the circle name is called last. You can select all the circles that you want, and offset is nothing. Animate, ease out, 300 milliseconds. You can play around with this. You can also do ease out back, so that gives a little bouncy effect. So just play around with these as well. And let's see how it looks like. So clicking on this takes me to this diagonal circle in the end. And if you see, I'm able to move it in both directions. Now, if I click on this arrow, see what happens. Perfect. So it moves immediately to that last one. Since it's happening a little bit faster, we can give it more time. So I'll give it, let's say, 1000 millisecond, so that you can see the animation properly. Okay. So let's quickly go to this. So this is our initial frame. If I click on this, I'm going to the last circle. So quickly showing it again. Clicking on this is taking me to the last one. So it's moving in both directions. It's moving in X and it's moving in Y. So this is how diagonal scrolling works. Okay. So yeah, I think these are the 3 ones, and I hope you liked the video. I hope you understood it well, and I'll be back with another video of Figma Shorts really soon. Do let me know in the comments what you want to see next in the short Figma Shorts episodes, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.